Well, today on Nation, a window cleaners podcast, we're talking all about Christmas lights. I know, it's July. I get it, but you know as much as I do, we need to plan for this stuff. And I got an awesome guest today to talk more about it. So if you're in window cleaning or Christmas lights or pressure washing or anything and you want to get into Christmas lights, stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? Have a look around. If it's your first time here, hopefully it doesn't suck and you want to watch other episodes, but we've been doing this 8 years every single week and haven't missed one yet, knock on wood. So go back, watch, listen, anywhere you find podcasts. And if you're here again, then you're a glutton for punishment, but thank you for coming back. I appreciate that very, very much. And we're talking about Christmas lights today, which I know it's July, it's summer. It doesn't feel like Christmas light season, but it actually is. So what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, not bad, man. I'll tell you what, I was in the store the other day. I saw Halloween ornaments out already. So
don't go to Hobby Lobby. They got Christmas trees out already. Yeah.
No joke,
man.
Yeah, been good, man. It's been a bit. How have you been?
I know. Good. That's so funny. We're talking Christmas lights because it is like we're in the middle of like a heat wave. I feel like it has literally been like crazy hot. We went from tons of rain to tons of heat, and now everybody's in this kind of sweating their butts off type thing. And we're just going to talk Christmas lights because, that's what it is.
I'll tell you what, we had a cool down this week, but it's supposed to be coming back with force. It's been a pretty mellow winter up here in the Northwest, or summer. Winter, I'm already thinking it.
See, you're jinxing. That's okay. I'll take the hot. I would rather sweat than be cold. So
yeah, no joke.
As you can see, I'm wearing like a coat in my office because I am cold all the time. So.
Yesterday, in the office, I had the hoodie on with the pull over my head. It was a little cold, but I wasn't minding. I stepped outside to drive home, and it was horrible.
Not that I want to talk about this anymore because it's PTSD, but my air just went out, my AC in my house, like on just a couple days ago, and I had to buy a new system. It was like new system, furnace dampeners, like $28,000 system. But now I have air. But if you have a wife and kids in 90-degree weather and the air goes out, they act like it's the apocalypse when I didn't have air when I was younger. So.
No, me either. And my mom still to this day doesn't. But I'll tell you what, when my wife was pregnant and the air conditioner went out, oh, man, that was not a good day.
It happened real quick. I made a phone call really quick. I can tell you that much.
Yep.
Well, if anybody doesn't know who you are, you've been on the show a bunch. I mean, you are known everywhere. But tell them what you are, who you are, where do you work?
Well, I'm Bobby Williams with Justin Monk SEO. Justin and I are business partners, and we help everybody from window cleaners to pressure washers, Christmas lights, epoxy flooring, anybody. Heck, we've got plastic surgeons, everything. So we just help small businesses and help you get to the top of Google, kind of experience the same thing that we experience with our service business.
Nice. You guys probably have heard me talk about Monk SEO, I don't know, billion times maybe. So it's been talked about. But if you haven't seen Bobby, this is like your fourth podcast probably.
Is it only 4? Man, it feels like we've done more.
Maybe probably more than that, actually, because you did one with Ryan Johnson, then we did one with right. Monk was on here too with you, and it's the problem when you're the good looking fella. They put you on all the podcasts, and then you get stuck doing them all.
Yeah, I don't know. I every time I get on here, I'm like, man, I just try to stare at the camera, not stare at myself, because I don't like it.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's funny too when we've been doing these. The first time I remember you were like a stone when you were on here, and you were like, "Yes, my name is Bob." You were very, very nervous. So it's good that like we've kind of softened you up a little bit. So
yeah, that was a bad one, man. I remember that. That was
it was genuine. That's what mattered, No, but talking Christmas lights, you guys do Christmas lights, and I'm bringing it up now. Obviously, the whole Christmas in July is cliche, blah blah blah. I thought that'd be interesting, but to do Christmas lights, you have to plan things, right? Like the best time you should have bought Christmas lights was back in February, but you got to order stuff now. You got to get everything kind of built. You guys have done Christmas lights now. How long have you guys been installing?
We are on year 5, I believe now. This will be our 5th season. So, nice. And that is one of the secrets is that if you can afford it, that time frame right after Christmas, January, February, the vendors are giving you great deals on buying right then because obviously their season's over and they're trying to put stuff together for the next year. So little tidbit there. That's a great time to try and get your supplies.
Yeah,
I know.
If you
I was
can.
going to say, well, sorry, there we go. That's where I was going with it, was when with window cleaning, that's the hard part. You slowed down. If you're in the northern states, things have been slow for a few months. It's hard to pick up and buy right then. But, if you can, that's the time. After your first season in Christmas lights, you'll be able to.
Yeah, no kidding. That's the biggest piece of this that people don't really see is the money that's involved. And we were talking before, like, you have to buy the stuff the first year, right? But I don't know if you guys do lease or what you do with lights.
That's how what we do is we go for a contract, 3 to 5 years, and we purchase the lights up front. The first year there's really not a lot of margin. You're putting it out into the lights and everything. But the great thing is, the second year you get a $2,000 job. All you're doing is paying for a couple hours of labor for your guys. I mean, it's huge. It's amazing the margins that you can have after your first season in Christmas lights.
Yeah, and if they leave, like the customer leaves you, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't want these anymore," you still have the lights. They're
exactly.
And lights will last. I mean, they say maybe 10 years, but you get 5 years out of them, 5 seasons, if not 10,
Absolutely. I mean, everything LED now, it's insane. I mean, it's a neat industry. And the biggest thing for window cleaning, and that's why we got into this, our window cleaning business, we had to lay guys off in the winter. We tried doing snow plowing, snow removal. That was not the best choice. There's, high costs to buy all the equipment. And then you're hoping that it's going to snow. Christmas is going to come every year.
Yeah.
And what I love about it is it's fun. It's just something that everybody's excited about. Window cleaning, we have to get it done. It's not something we really look forward to, but you're happy when it is done. These, it's like, man, people get excited. People are already calling right now, getting ready. They're setting up their install dates. Some people are doing the permanent lighting and getting it ready for Halloween right now. Just fun stuff. It's really neat.
I had somebody tell me, and I wish I could remember who, as you're talking, I'm like going through the names, but somebody told me with Christmas lights, the greatest thing is you sell happiness. It's the only thing they're doing. You don't need it done. It doesn't help you if you're home, but like it just brings happiness to other people. And
discretionary purchase. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's I was in the RV industry for a long time, and it was really fun. I never did sell cars, but I remember talking to guys that had sold cars, and they're like, man, that's just such a grind. And it was like, man, RVs are just a good time. Everybody's happy when they come in. They're looking forward to getting out and camping with the family. Christmas lights are right up that same alley. They're just, everybody's excited. It's fun. It's I don't know. It's a good break after a hard season cleaning windows. Well,
and you mentioned too, and we're talking about this early because we really have to start advertising, getting customers, that type of thing now. We'll get to that. But the seasonality of window cleaning and Christmas lights works really, really well because we start slowing down when Christmas lights start ramping up. And then not only do you have a November, December fill, or at least, even August, I mean, that whole from August on, people start installing. But then you have the teardown, which is, January is full of that,
Absolutely.
And then seasonality works really, really well together.
And a lot of times there's a lot of people that don't want them down right away. They want to keep them up a little bit longer, through January, maybe the Super Bowl, they have a party and still have the lights on, something fun for that. And then by the time everything's getting torn down, weather's starting to turn and starting to get pretty again and back to cleaning windows. So it's a great setup, man. That's been absolutely phenomenal. I'm so glad that we made that jump to add that in there.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, since but what would you think in the costs, like if somebody's going to start into Christmas lights, what do you think is like, okay, here's a quick way to kind of get in and kind of, it's not everything you need, but what are they going to be looking for? Like, what would you suggest to kind of jump in?
The biggest thing that I would go for is training. It's really easy training. Once you've gone through the training, it's really easy. But the problem is finding someone that's good at training. That's the biggest thing. A good mentor or signing up for, most people, there's a lot of people out there that are training it for a fee. We actually went back to the East Coast for it. That's the biggest thing to start. That'll give you the entire foundation for what you need to do and do it right, because they've made the mistakes that you'll make if you try just to go jumping out on your own.
Do you want to name drop on who you guys use for training?
I actually I would recommend calling Justin directly because he's already gone through it and he's willing. That's the great thing about Justin. He's done this for 20 25 years, I believe, at this point. It's been a long time. So he's been down the pitfalls of not just the window cleaning business, but also the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And I don't think let's see, we went back to the East Coast, I want to say the second year of Christmas lights. It wasn't the first, and maybe even, it was the second. And it changed everything. Nice. I mean, even down to the color of the bulbs that we used. So really? So I would recommend giving Justin a call. He'll get on the phone with you and he'll give you a lot of free advice. And if you want to go to the next step, he'll put you in the right direction.
Nice. Yeah. That's one thing I like that, because everybody's so willing to jump in and go, you need like this, and this gear. You need this hammer and these. But instead, you're like, no, hold on. Christmas lights we understand that part. You need the training to figure out, and people, a lot of training, people go, well, I know this. You're not smarter than me. I know. No one's saying that. But they're saying there's like tips, tricks, like ways to do it. Like, how do you wrap a tree? If you just wrap a tree like normal, it's going to take you 1,000 years. You're never going to make money. If you do it the right way, it's an easy tear down. It's an easy, looks great. There's a lot of things to it.
And it really just cuts out that the mistake process. That's the biggest thing. We have a client right now that he's actually opening his first franchise in a different state. Been with us for a couple of years, and the one thing that he said is, I wish that I could have built my pressure washing company the same way that I built my Christmas light company, because he said, now my whole focus is Christmas lights. He said, I'm ready to just start letting pressure washing kind of fall off and go strictly Christmas lights only.
That's crazy. That's one thing too, is that I know a lot of guys who have done that even in window cleaning. I know 3 guys that went from owning a service company to now just doing Christmas lights, and they spend a chunk of the year, but you're talking a third of the year really hammering things down, maybe half of it, right? And then the rest of the time they kind of take a little bit of a break, they kind of do that, but the margins are the margins are phenomenal. But here's the other piece, and we talked about this a little too, but the saturation point of this, there's a lot of Christmas light people, but they're just all kind of fly-by-nighters. There's not like an industry where, like, if you start doing your SEO, like we talked about, if you start doing your advertising, if you start putting your Facebook stuff, there's not a lot of competition out there. And the visuals in Christmas lights are always amazing. And even just seeing a picture of Christmas lights brings happiness, and you're selling that, it's just a very easy business to get into that has a potential to be bigger than window cleaning.
Yeah, and if that's the thing too, if you do social media ads, the Christmas lights are almost all themselves on there. It's just, people see it, they get excited, it's something fun. Yeah. There's so much exciting stuff about it. It's like my mind's on overload right now, trying to think of what all I can squeeze into this short podcast about Christmas lights. So
yeah. Well, tell me this. So I want to get into Christmas lights. What do you think we should be doing for getting customers? Like, what can I do to get customers? It's July when we're recording this. What do I do?
So that's the biggest thing that I can say is, if you already have a window cleaning business, leveraging that clientele, and that's something that Justin can really help anybody that's listening with, give you a good blueprint on exactly how to upsell those people, get the crew trained on trying to kind of fill that just a little tap, a little touch, we also offer Christmas lights as a service. He has a really, really good blueprint for that. Beyond that, July, doing something like our SEO program, it takes time. You'll get some traction for this season if you were to start right away, but it wouldn't be like it would be second year. Right. Next year, it's going to be rocking and rolling. It's going to be just absolutely, going like crazy. So for this season, something that I'd probably recommend doing is more like the paid advertising side of things, or getting started on a program like the SEO program, with knowing that it's going to be next year before you see the full results of it.
Yeah. That Facebook, whenever you start seeing those pictures pop up, they're all dark and there's colors, and there's something about it where you send a window cleaning ad at some guy cleaning a window, right. It doesn't translate. Like when you're like, remember when you were a kid and the snow started falling and your Christmas lights were up? Like, it's just, it's a time of the year. And I think it's been commercialized where Christmas kind of gets wearing on people by the time Christmas happens, but But
Yeah,
hey, be the first
very
one
much
out there,
so.
you know?
Yeah, and that's it. I always make that joke about, when we design websites for folks and we're doing, squeegees on windows, squeegees on windows. It's like, man, there's only so many times you can look at a squeegee on a window.
Yeah.
Every house is unique. Every light design is unique. I mean, there's no two that are the same.
I just say, what's your favorite part about doing Christmas lights, like personally for you?
Man, I just love the kids. The kids are my favorite part, man. When the kids see it all lit up, because typically, everything gets installed, and I've had people send me videos of the kids coming out and their eyes and the oohs and ahs.
Yeah,
and, they're typically it's it's in the fall. They're coming home from school, and if it's late enough in the fall, it's dark out by the time they get home and they're set up. So it's at least in our area, we get dark at 3:30. So.
Yeah. But wait, you're telling me the kids don't get excited about clean windows?
Oh gosh, yeah. No, I think they like watching the process, but then it's like
that's
whatever.
true.
They smudge it back up in 10 seconds. So.
Yeah. That's about right. Man, that's the cool thing. Really, I don't know. I've said it 1,000 times with it, but you're selling happiness. You're just like, it's the only way. And this is also when people are like, who is spending 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? I mean, you can get huge. Who's spending this? It's like a lot of people, because there's
a lot.
And the people who are doing that now usually don't have kids. Maybe they have kids at home, their kids are older, or it's grandkids. Well, then they got disposable income anyway. They're like, I'm going to be the hit of the neighborhood,
Absolutely. And it's funny too. Like the houses that we've done, it's like that. Don't ever think that there's like one neighborhood that's better than the other. There's people everywhere. I mean, some of the houses that we've gone to, I'm like, seriously, this is a job that we're doing right now. Wow, that's like I wouldn't have guessed it, but that's just me putting a label on things that I shouldn't. So
well, we've proven that way a lot. Yeah. So I had one of my guys that does Christmas lights I was talking to last year said that one of his customers won their neighborhood lighting contest or whatever. And I was like, well, that's kind of cheating, but okay, it's cool. They said they get a little trophy,
Yeah, we've had a few of those as well. That's it. And I don't know. I don't think it's cheating, man. It's it's like anything else.
That's right.
I mean, I guess if I went into a sandcastle competition, I'd probably have to hire somebody to do that for me too.
That's right. Yeah. I always tell my wife too. I'm always like, when she's talking about like chores and things, I'm like, I cut the grass. She's like, no, you don't. You hire a company. I said, exactly. It gets cut, right? Same thing.
Yep. Yeah. And I did one of those robot lawnmowers this year. Those are did crazy. Yeah. I see that. It's hit and miss. I don't know if I have a good review on that one.
Well, there's one I drive past it every day right outside my office here, and every time I look at it, I'm like, that might be kind of cool, but then somebody will just steal it or something, and then
it's supposed to have an alarm and all sorts of stuff. I don't think it would matter, but there needs a lot of work. There needs to be an upgrade in the technology there before I sign off on getting one of those.
It'll get there someday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is going to be a general question. It's going to be super hard for you to answer, but what's the cost of getting into Christmas lights? What can I expect? Obviously, you're making that, and you got to get the customers, and blah blah blah. But like, I think you should start with X amount of dollars worth of stuff. What do you think that is?
Man, that's a loaded question. I couldn't give you a good value on that. Just because there's so many different. I've seen people that have thrown 20 grand at it and got everything, all these huge supplies and everything, and then it's the completely wrong thing. As far as like just getting started, I would say a good coach, good instruction. You're going to spend somewhere. I'd say $2,000 to $3,000 would be my guess, maybe a little more. And that's going to set you up, and it's going to give you the right foundation for who you should reach out to, how much, what lights to get. Like I say, we started out and we were offering every single color, and it just didn't matter. Nobody really cared about all the colors. So now we just are strictly one color. It's just white lights all across the board. Now, if we're doing permanent or something like that, where it is a custom order, of course we'll do that kind of stuff.
Right.
But that's just what we stock, because that's what most people go for. They just want the roof line lit. There's also upgrades like, small things like you can give away like wreaths or something, or have a little value add. Wreaths people love upselling on the wreaths. So, and they're fairly cheap, and something you can give away is kind of a, hey, if you sign up for your contract, you get a free wreath, rather than just doing 1 year. So we're not having to, have lights laying around that are specific for a house that we have to recut for another one. So.
That's actually a good idea. I didn't even think about doing that. It's like added value as part of the lights, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's where, man, I'll tell you, Justin, he's more hands-on in that side of the business. I'm, mostly the marketing side of things. He has a lot of that value that if folks want to call and talk to him, like I say, he's always open for a phone call. No charge. He'll answer the phone. If you call our direct line, our local 509 number, it rings straight to his phone. That's his cell phone. So you can get him anytime.
It's kind of nice when you're not in somebody's area. Like if I always consider it the dog park, right? So if I'm in town and I see a window cleaner go, "Hey, how are you? I'm a window cleaner here too." Then they go, and they think you're stealing stuff, and right. But if I go to another state, right, you go to the other coast where you guys are, and I call you even up, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I got questions on window cleaner." You're like, "Yeah, what's up?" Like dog park, it's neutral territory to everybody, right?
Absolutely. And it's funny too. I mean, even local clients, we help local clients or local window cleaners, pressure washers. We do SEO for them. We'll help anybody, man. It's not we don't see everybody as competition. We like to help everybody that we can. So, and one tidbit that I missed back there when you were asking about ways to generate clients, and this one is, it's kind of embarrassing to tell. But us being in the SEO industry and, dominating our area and taking every lead that we can, the thing that we didn't think about with the Christmas lights, we built out the Christmas light website. We got it ranking. It's crushing it. Everything's going great. But we didn't even think about, we have a window cleaning website. We have a pressure washing website. Why not add the services on there and take up some more real estate on Google? Yeah. It's if you already have a website that's doing well, it's ranking in your area for window cleaning, throw in a little Christmas light tab there. If you have your web designer throw together a page, heck, if you don't want to pay your web designer or you're not able to do it, just give us a call. I'd be happy to help you get one set up. It's pretty straightforward. It's quick. If you've already got a service page for window cleaning, we can make one for Christmas lights real quick for you.
Use the SEO juice you already got going and just kind of tag it on.
That's right. Right. And that's, the relevancy of your Christmas light site is going to probably keep that ahead of that. But heck, it's nice to be number 2 as well. So
that's right. Right. So let me ask you, what are the downsides, would you say, of Christmas lights? What of that do you just not look forward to, would you think?
Oh, man. I don't know. Probably. I don't think there is, other than, knowing that I've got to buy Christmas gifts for the family and all that fun stuff. I've got the holidays coming. That's about the only thing that weighs on my head during Christmas light season. Yeah. You got
enough things to worry about.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that I ever get concerned about is just safety. It does get you're typically installing in not the greatest of weather. It's cold, it's wet. If you're not, people aren't getting them out there early enough. A lot of folks will install through August, September. And when the weather's decent, into October, and then November. It's starting to get a little dicey out there. So that's ladders and slippery steps. That's pretty much my only concern out there, but heck, we got that all the time. We're always working with water. We're always working with ladders. So other than that, I don't see any other downfalls other than just that first year. First year is, margins are slim. It's, you don't look to make a kill in the first year. You're going to make a little bit of money, but not a lot. Yeah. Second year is when you're going to say, yeah, this is the right choice. And
now you're in it.
Then year 3 and 4 is when you start rethinking what you're doing. If you're just going to go strictly Christmas lights, or if you're going to keep both businesses running. So
I'm going to put you on the spot with a numbers question. You can say you don't know, but what do you think? How many percentage of people who sign up for Christmas lights do it more than 1 year in a row?
Oh, geez. I would guess over 80. And that's up front for us. Originally, we had, I would say the first year we didn't have as many comebacks in the second year, but then we got really good at pitching that, 3-year contract, 5-year contract. 5 is what we shoot for now. And then once you have that, you're looking at it and you're like, gosh, I've got, your income for the next season just on your base. And then you're still bringing in new clients. Yeah. Your repeat and referral. It's amazing how many people, once you do one house in an area, how many people call next door, the neighbors start calling. They're like, hey, whoa, that was awesome. I saw what you did. And that's typically second year, first year you'll get some of that, but second year people are like, hey, who was that guy you used? And
and every year after year 1, you're making more money. So if you got a 5-year contract, you got 4 years of making stupid money, Yeah,
and it's just it's something you have to bank on. It's not. It's kind of like route. You've got it, and it's in the bank, and you can plan your season accordingly the second year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very, very true. There's no guarantee in anything we do, but especially in like seasonal, it's like as much frequency as you have, that's good. Like there's people, I mean, literally depending on how you run your business, and I say this all the time with the dentist close stuff, but there's people who like January 1st, they take their party hat off and go, I have nothing on the books, but don't worry, it'll be a great year. And they just have to like go and get stuff for the whole year. Like, oh, people will call, and like, if you can have frequency, like you said, route or lights where you're like, okay, I know next season we got at least, $110,000 worth of lights booked. Now, whatever we put on top of there, you just sustain it.
Absolutely. And that's what I love so much about this over route. Route, we're all kind of racing to the bottom to try and land those accounts.
Yeah.
With this, it's not like that. It's just, once you have them, you have them. You might have to negotiate on price up front to beat out the other guy. But then after that, you've got them.
Yeah. So. Nice. So the almighty question of all of this is how much money can someone make on this? Not total. I know there's guys doing millions, but like, what ends up being like a turnaround on like what's an average ticket versus what the average profit would be maybe on that? Give us a little bit of idea just to really sweeten.
Average installation, I would say, is right around that $2,000 mark, and it ranges way up. I mean, I've heard some of our guys have $20,000 installations with huge, massive places.
Yeah.
And on a $2,000 job, literally, if you're set up and tear down, you're looking at a couple hours of labor with a couple guys. So the margins are huge. You already have the lights bought that second year. Everything's already out of pocket. There's nothing else to do other than pay your guys. So it's that's where that gets really sweet. It's just getting over that hump of the first year. The first year is I've seen too many people come into the space, and there's a lot of those fly by night companies. The first year they don't make it. You'll see new competitors come into the space every single year, and I'd say more than half of them drop off because it's just they don't do it right. Without the right coaching and the right training, that'll make all the difference for you and make sure that you're successful.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're talking a $2,000 ticket could be a total of maybe 4 man hours for this, set up to. That's crazy.
I know, isn't it wild? It's just the margins are crazy. I mean, it's the next epoxy flooring is what it feels like. So it seems like everybody kind of goes in waves, and this is the next wave, and we're still way ahead of it. I mean, I was thinking that this industry would be completely saturated by now when we started, and there's still just not a lot of people jumping out there and doing it. I think people are; they're just not doing it right in the beginning.
Yeah. That's the great thing, though, is because it's such a short season, you don't see the ads in the SEO. Like they're not working on that. So like back to us, where we're in window cleaning and pressure washing, like we're doing that year round. We're getting ourselves out there. And now Christmas lights, everybody else is not doing it because they're like, well, I'm not going to do that. It's only 3 months. Like it's a really easy space to get in.
It really is, and that's the biggest thing is preparation. Like you're saying, it's being ahead of the game. Not calling up and being like, hey, I want to get ranking for this season. It's like start prepping now for next year. Next year is that gives plenty of time for Google to trust your website. If you're starting a brand new website right now, Google's not going to trust it right off the gate. They're getting worse and worse about that. I just had another suspension on a customer called me and say my Google business profile was suspended yesterday. They are shutting them down like crazy because there were so many people that are in the SEO industry that are setting up these fake businesses and making them lead gens, feeding off the leads to local companies rather than the company itself. Getting those leads. And that's what Google is really looking for is the best experience for their user.
Right.
If they provide a bad experience and you have some fly by night company that doesn't return a call or, anything like that, they're going to demote that website because if you do enough of that, then it's going to go the way of Yahoo. Everybody's going to move over to a DuckDuckGo or a different search engine. So they're always looking for the best user experience. And as legitimate businesses, we should be excited that they are suspending our profiles because we are legitimate. We'll get them back. The company that's that you're competing with that isn't a legitimate company or somebody that's not carrying insurance, things like that, the companies that you're fighting and losing leads to, they're getting rid of them too. So it's actually a good thing, and I always try to. It sucks in the moment. I'm sure that I'm sure most people listening to this podcast have experienced the suspension, but once you get through it, it's just a good verification for Google, and it's a good thing for you in the long run. Yeah,
that's the other piece of why you want to put it on your own website. Because you already got legitimate your website's been up for a few years, you adding a page to it, there's no way they're blocking that,
Absolutely. Yeah. You've got that trust established, and you're still, it's like a handshake. That's what Google's looking for. It's a popularity contest. And the more people talking about you, the more that Google trusts you. And if you don't have anybody talking about you right out of the gate, which you won't, 'cause it's a brand new website, they just don't trust you. And it takes some time to build that trust.
Yeah, Google doesn't care about us until we're the ones searching a company out. Then they care. They only care about the people looking for stuff. They don't care about, I want to put my business on there. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll see. Their focus is on the customer experience, not the vendors. People sometimes forget that,
I'm sure that everybody listening can attest to Google customer service. It's completely non-existent unless you're paying them money. Yeah. So,
and even then
that's still terrible. I mean, but Google Business Profile, I used to have a phone number I could call directly until 2002. They completely shut that number down, and now they just don't care because really it's not doing anything for them. It's just a free service for you. It's a free product. And I think they should give more credibility to that section just because it is giving their users a good experience, but they sure think opposite. So
they're people have 500 reviews on Google, and Google's like, yeah, I don't like that one. Click and they're gone. And then you're like, you destroyed my business. And Google's like, this was a free service. Like, I don't care. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Didn't destroy my business called Google. Like, they just don't care. It's just different.
Yeah. That big sweep of reviews that went away. What was that? Maybe a year and a half ago. And we lost something like 20 some legitimate reviews. They weren't purchase reviews. They weren't anything. And of course there's no appeal. And that was on our personal site. We had hundreds of other clients that were like, geez, my reviews are down. What's going on? I'm losing reviews. Man, that's just Google doing their thing.
It's just somebody in an office that clicks a button too. It's not like there's some guy who's out to get you and he's like, I don't want that review. It's just like, you're dealing with Google, you're dealing with the juice, the SEO, and everything. They're trying to find the best experience. When we talk about like content too, especially with like Christmas sites, because so many people engage with the pictures, that new fresh content, they instantly are like, oh, like, yeah, there's tons of people looking at this stuff. This has got to be a really good website. And they rank it better because they know that more people will like it. If you're not getting any views, they're not pushing it.
And that's the biggest thing that I noticed with the Christmas light sites is the user engagement and the times that they spend on the website. With window cleaning, all they care about is a phone number. They're just coming there, they're looking for a phone number. Whatever you put on the website, most people aren't reading. Right. It's good for Google. Google needs to read it and understand that you're doing windows. But when you go into Christmas lights, people actually sit there and look through pictures because they're like, well, what do I want my house to look like? What could it look like? There's a lot more. It's a lot more unique than window cleaning, pressure washing.
Yeah. So. It's a different world, but it pairs so stinking well with what we do, and just the seasonality and the times and the big influx of profits when we don't have an influx of profits. It's really good. So I really appreciate it. I know, again, it's July. I don't even want to think about this. I want to go sweat. I don't want to think about winter yet, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you spending some time in the middle of July talking about Christmas lights.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if anybody, like I say, anybody needs help getting a page set up on their window cleaning site, love to help you. We're here a lot of people don't even know we build websites, but that's one of our big pieces of our SEO agency. So,
well, I've known you guys for a really long time, and I talk about you all the time, but really, I don't think people understand how much you guys just do to everybody thinks of businesses as like, that's all you do. And I don't think it's the same way. I really genuinely, I've had people like reach out to you, they call you, talk to you. They're never a customer, but they got a bunch of information. They're just, it's something kind of cool about that. So
I appreciate that. That's we always try to. This is where we came up. Window cleaning, and window cleaning was how we got started on everything. And doing our own SEO is what put us into. We thought, gosh, this is something that everybody needs. And so it's. I always tell people, man, it's the greatest job. I get to help people every day. I get to see. It's always fun when I get those phone calls, like my case study earlier that's starting his first franchise down in Texas, and he's all the way up in Indianapolis. So it's pretty neat.
It's crazy, man. So tell us again, give us some specifics. How do they get a hold of you? How can they call you? What's the best?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to talk, down and dirty numbers and the pieces of our window cleaning or our Christmas light business or window cleaning, pressure washing, we can keep you out of all the pitfalls in any of them. Yeah. You can call Justin directly at 509 808-0787. If you want to talk to me, I'm more the techie guy. I'm 509-280-6166. And then, of course, you can just go to the website. Our emails are on there, and a direct phone number if you want to call in on the 800 line.
Nice. Well, hey, I very, very much appreciate it. If you guys are thinking about doing Christmas lights, really, now is the time. It sounds ridiculous, but now is the time. And I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing Christmas light ads popping up in August. Next month, they're going to start. So if you're going to get into it, there's a lot ahead of you, but you got to plan to do it. So if you're a little slow now, you got time, plan it, get it together, get some training, talk to these guys, but just get into it. Make some money, plan for the winter. Maybe it's a service you want to add. So, yeah, I very much appreciate it. If you're still here, remember, I'm a rep from windowcleaner.com. Of course, I want to put your orders in. Please let me do so. A couple quick thank yous. I want to say thank you to Joel Purvis, Joe Berg, and Ed Perry, 3 random people that buy from me all the time, and they're super awesome. So I want to say what's up. Thank you very much. My number direct's 862-312-2026. Text me, call me, smoke signals, whatever works. We'll get you squared away. And hopefully you guys want to do some Christmas lights. You make $1 billion, but more importantly, hopefully you go out there and be epic.